Hello everyone, welcome back to my CCNP BGP Class 3 Lab 3. This is Manny, your Cisco and Juniper Master Expert Instructor. I think you would have enjoyed my BGP Lab 1 and Lab 2, and this Lab 3 is a bit complicated lab. So what I did, I just combined both Lab 1 and Lab 2 into one lab. So let's go and understand this lab topology, guys. So in this lab topology, we have four routers: router 1, router 2, router 3 and router 4. Router 1, 2, 3 are part of many-core-net BGP AS number 11111, and the router 4 is part of othernet AS number 22222. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to establish Ebgp between router 3 and router 4 by using loopback 0. That means to get the connectivity we must add static route on R3 and R4. And what we are going to do, like ISP service provider, what we are going to in AS number 11111 many-core-net, we are going to advertise the links only in OSPF. It can be either OSPF or RIP or EIGRP, but in the industry they use either OSPF or ISIS, because OSPF and ISIS, they are the true link state routing protocol. So what we will do, we are going to advertise the links in OSPF only between R1 and R2. And what you have to understand, this lab has BGP Lab 1 and 2 complexities. That means whenever router 2 receives route from R1, it is not going to send to R3. At the same time, when router 2 receives route from R3, router 2 is not going to send to R1. So it's called BGP split horizon rule. Basically, it calls IBGP split horizon rule. So if you want to avoid, there are a couple of solutions. So we are going to use most widely used solution is called route reflector. So we are going to make router 2 as a route reflector. And also, so when we do router 2 as a route reflector, when R3 advertises route to R2, when R2 send that route to R1, R2 is not going to change the next hop. That's the reason we need OSPF inside. And if you look now, there's another complexities coming here. When R4 advertises route to R3, it will say next hop is 150.50.34.4. But when R3 advertises to route to R2, it will not change. It will say, okay, I'm learning from Ebgp neighbor, so my next hop must be still 150.50.34.4. So that means unless I advertise the link between R3 and R4 to OSPF, router 1 and router 2 will see as a valid route, not as a best route. So we have to put another variable here is called next hop self command on R3. So R3 pointing to R2, we are going to put next hop selves. So guys, lots of things in the lab. So let's quickly go through the conditions. I want you guys to draw this diagram and do the lab. So quickly go through the conditions, guys. Configure Ebgp between R3 and R4 and IBGP between R1 and 2 and 2 and 3. Use loopback 0 for Ebgp peering. Authenticate R3, R4 Ebgp link with a password many advantage. Advertise all networks in BGP. So technically, even though I'm saying advertise all networks in BGP except the links. Make sure R1 receive all routes. So basically I'm saying to configure router 2 as a route reflector for point number 4. Point number 5, configure R1 such a way that all BGP routers says, so it's kind of a summarization. Number 6, fixed next hop route. Basically on R3 pointing to R2, I must put next hop self. I'm saying don't advertise 222 to R4. So that means I had to put some kind of a route map prefix list. Then other two, point number 8 and 9 is to do with when R4 receives route, it should see one of the prefix as local preference 150 and everything else as local preference 200. The other one is on R3 when it sees 44, 44, 44, the weight of 111 and others with the weight of 121. So guys, I'm going to do this entire lab. So try to understand the lab, draw the lab, do the lab. That's the only way you can learn. And understand this lab is not a complex lab, but it will have CCNP complexities. If you want to do real hardcore lab, you have to just go to CCI studies. In CCI, there will be lots of complex topologies involving all the path attributes. So guys, now if I go further down, I already have my two BGP labs in my YouTube channel. I have my OSPF lab, EIGRP lab, I'm planning to do subnetting an IP 101. I think you guys will like that one, and also I might put some other labs. So guys, if you like this video and also if you like my previous video, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, Many Advantage. You can Google up or YouTube and type Many Advantage and you can find my channel. So if you like, please subscribe as well as tell your friends to subscribe too. Again guys, I'm going to, whoever don't do my classes, I'm going to go through conditions slowly so you can do a screenshot and you can study. So this is about point number 1. I'm going to create point number 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do together. So basically it's configuring BGP. So router 1, router 2, router 3, then router 4. So this is normal BGP configuration. Just see, I'm adding a route ID, so it's supposed to be 444. I will change that when I type the commands. So to make full meshes, I had to make router 2 as a route reflector. And I'm telling you to advertise the links in OSPF to make the routes are reachable. So I'm showing what commands you have to type on router 1, router 2, router 3. And above as of number 6, to fix the next stop self, router 3 pointing to my IBGP neighbor, that is R2. I had to put a command called next stop self. Then I'm telling R1 should summarize the route. So to summarize the route, you must put the keyword summary only. So we are going to do all these conditions in the lab right now. Then finally, I'm telling you to do some local preference. So when we do local preference, let's come to this section and let's see how to do, because I'm going to copy these same commands and just do it just to get you guys hands on. Again guys, we are going to go do this lab right now. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the lab. So my main point is just do the lab right now. So this is my diagram. I already have my secure CRT open or PuTTY open. So I already configured the IPs. So to verify, I can type show IP interface brief, exclude unassign. I don't have no IP protocols running. If I type show IP protocol, it's going to tell me if I'm running any dynamic routing protocol, nothing. So from here I want to telnet to R3, so I will type 150.50.34.3. I'm on R3. Here also I'll type show IP interface brief to see if I see all the loopbacks. That's good. If I type show IP protocols, I'm not running anything. So let's go to router 2. So I had to go to 150.50.23.2. I'm on router 3. I had to go to 150.50.23.2. I typed 3 before. So I came to R2. Here also if I type show IP interface brief, I should see 3 loopbacks. That's right. And if I type show IP protocols, I'm not running any routing protocols. And from here, if I want to go to router 1, 150.50.12.1, this tells me I have all the IP connectivity defined already. So in this one, what I want to do now, show IP interface brief, and also show IP protocols to make sure no routing protocols are running. So everything is good guys. I'm going to type exit, 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 exit. I'm going to come back to my router 4. So all router 1, 2, 3, 4, they are pre-configured guys. So I think I'm doing lab number 3. You guys are already familiar with the configuration. So I'm going to do the start the configuration right now. So I'm not going to add any special command. We are going to just do basic configuration. So basic configuration wise, router BGP 11111, then no auto summary, no synchronization. The best command wise, I type BGP router ID. If it is router 1, best to type router 1. Then now the network commands are important. Network 11.11.12.0 mask. So remember, even though I'm configuring everything as a 24-bit mask, it can be anything, but in BGP you have to exactly configure the network and mask. That's the main main condition. So there are only two loopbacks. So technically this is done. If you want to do, if you want, and also it's not done, guys. I had to define the neighbor config t router bgp 11111 neighbor 150.50.12.2 remote AS11111. You have to be very careful when you type. I want to just verify the configuration. Show run section BGP. Okay, so whatever I type, it is there. So I'm going to go to. So there are two ways to type, guys. I'll show you another easy way. I can copy all the configuration too. I can use Notepad as a good friend. So if you are confident, you can use a Notepad. So I assume I'm a bit confident of what I'm doing. So just see on router. This is on router 2. I'm going to say BGP route ID is going to be 2.2.2.2. The network wise, there are three networks. One is 2.2.2.0. Other one is 2.2.22.0. Other one is 2.2.23.0. So again, I'm saying if you are going to do any high level CCI studies, you'll be most probably using Notepad document heavily. And also neighbor, there are two neighbors. One is 152.12.1 and my another neighbor is going to be 23.2. So you have to be very careful when you do use a Notepad. You have to be very careful. So 23.2. So looks like good. So I'm going to just configure this one on router 2. So let's use Notepad document, guys. Okay. So config t. Okay, I did some mistake. What's the mistake I did? Okay. So this should be .3. That's the mistake. So I'm going to rechange this one. I'm on router 2. So I should put .3 remote AS11111. I like this one, guys, because you are seeing the live mistakes, whatever I'm doing. So it's going to help you a lot when you do your lab by yourself. Show run section BGP. Okay, so looks good. So let's go to router 3. So this time let's use our lab diagram. Okay, in this lab on router 3, what I want to do, again 111 BGP route ID I want to change to 3.3.3.3. The network wise I have advertised only one network command. Network is 3333. But the neighbor wise there are two neighbors. One is 150.150.23. I'm on R3, so it should be true. This time is right. And here this side is going to be 444. 4.4.4.4. And also I told you guys, because this is Ebgp neighbor, I need a couple of commands. Update source loopback 0. Then I said enable authentication by many advantage. And also remember, whenever you do Ebgp peering or like Ebgp peering with not directly connected interface, you need another command. It's called Ebgp multihop. Could be there's a try space. I don't recall. So let's try to put this command, and if anything is missing, I will add it. So I'll go to router 3, config t. Okay, so it took the command. Guys, one more thing. Now I had to put a static route here saying IP route to go to 4.4.4.4, 255, 255, 255, 255. I have to tell this router to go to 150, 50, 34.4. I'm going to tell it to go to 150, 50, 34.4 because this router should know how to go to the other router. I will save it. I'm going to now use the same template to configure my router 4. So in router 4 is going to be route ID will be 4.4.4.4. Again, route ID you don't have to define, but as a best practice you have to define. So network, there are a couple of two network. One is 4.4.4.4. Other one is 44, 44, 44. Let's type that one too. 44.44.44, that's right. Here the neighbor is going to be 3. Okay, I did a small mistake. I can see right now we are going to correct right away. 3. Here is going to be router BGP 22222. The neighbor is right, but in this case neighbor is going to be 333. So I did a small typo. I'm going to fix it. I'll show you what's a typo and I will fix it, guys. So I don't need this one. So let's check one more time. I have defined the neighbor as 333, that's right. Remote AS 111. I'm saying update source loopback 0 Ebgp multi-hop 2 password many advantage. On the other router, I think the remote AS number I didn't type 111. So here I typed properly. So this is my local AS number on router 4 and this is my router 3's AS number. So when these numbers are different, it become Ebgp. Let's try to put this one on router 4 and try to fix our router 3. There are two things I had to do. One is fix it, then I had to put a static route, IP route, to go to 3.3.3.3 because I need the connectivity to establish in order to ping. So I think it's going to be 34.3. We can just quickly check. Multiple windows open. So I'm going to minimize. Yeah, 34.3. So before even BGP established, I should be able to ping 3.3.3.3 source loopback 0. If my static routes are right, I should be able to ping. Okay, that's good, guys. As I said, I did a small typo on R3. Yeah, I'm getting the message too. Let's fix that one. Show run section BGP. The mistake, the 444, I put remote AS 111. So we have to fix that mistake. Router BGP 11111. As soon as type no neighbor remote AS, everything is going to go. Then I had put neighbor 4.4.4.4 remote AS 22222 and I better add these two commands one more time. I want to make sure the commands are taken. Show run section BGP. Okay, the neighbor is up. So guys, just says we have to learn by mistake. We have to practice. So on R3 right now, if I look at the neighbor, there should be two neighbors. Let's check. Show IP BGP summary. Yeah, I have two neighbors. I'm getting the routes, so that's a good thing. And also I am authenticating by using the many advantage password because we have a authentication going on. So if I go to, in R3, if I type show IP BGP, I will see R2 routes, but I will not see R1 routes. Here I'm not seeing R1 routes. So let's go through the conditions right now. I want to make sure we add here to the conditions. Yeah, configure Ebgp, IBGP, I did everything, guys, right now. I added the static route. Yeah, you can type show IP BGP, show IP route BGP. So let's type show IP route BGP also. show IP route Bgp. You will see the same routes with a administrative distance. I mostly sometimes 200 and sometimes 20. 20 stand for IBGP, 20 stand for EBGP, and 200 stand for IBGP. So if you go further down, okay, I want to make sure router 2 and router 2 send the route between router 1 and router 3. To do that one, we have to go back here. So right now router 3 is not learning any routes from router 1. So to fix that one, I will go here and type show run. Okay, I already typed, so I'll go to my BGP configuration, router BGP 11111. I'll go to this neighbor and say route reflector client, route reflector client. Then I will do the up arrow and change to 23.3 also route reflector client. Once I do this one, I should see the routes. If I do show run section BGP, you will see now one more statement added. The after remote AS is called route reflector client. That means if I go to router 3, if I see the route, I should see 111, but there's a catch. Okay, it takes some time. If you want to go faster, what you can do here clear IP BGP star soft. So star soft mean is both inbound and outbound. Let's see if everything is good. I should see the route. It tells me something. Router 1 and router 2, there is no BGP. So something. Let's see here. Show IP BGP. I'm not seeing my 11 routes. So I'll see why I'm not seeing. Show IP interface brief. Okay, it is 11.11.13. I think I did a typo instead of 11. Let's go back to the diagram. Diagram says 11.11.12 and 11.11.13. That's right. So 11.11.12 and 11.11.13. Let's go here. Show run section BGP. The network command, I think I didn't type for 13. So I'm going to change the network command to 13. Router BGP 1111. No to this 11 and change the 11 to 13. Network 11.11.13.0 mask 255.255.255.0. Show IP BGP. Okay, now I am seeing both. Does router see both? Router 2 should see both. Show IP BGP. Okay, but right now router 3 should see also. If I go to router 3, okay, look at this one. Router 3 is saying, but not as a best route, but as a valid route. The reason router 3 don't know how to go to 150.150.12.1. So you cannot change this one. It's always like this because route reflector does not change the next route. To avoid this one, now we have to do the IGP inside. So basically we have to enable OSPF inside. So I'll come back to my section number 2. So I have to do this part now. Router 1, router 2, router 3, I have to enable OSPF. So we are going to go through everything, guys. So let's go back to our 3 routers. Router 1, config T, router OSPF1, network 150.50.12.0, 0.0.0.255 area 0. You can do any routing protocol. My ultimate aim is to advertise the links. Config T, router OSPF1, network 150.50.12.0, 0.0.0.255 area 0. Do the up arrow, change this 12 to 23. I'll come to my router 3 and advertise as a 23.0. Config T, router OSPF1, network 150.50.23.0, 0.0.0.255 area 0. Guys, you should have the diagram handy in order to just follow what I'm doing. Maybe I'm a bit faster. So we have to give some time until OSPF come up. So it will take some time. Show IP OSPF neighbor. So it's two-way draw. I think it's 38 right now. Before the dead timer expire, yeah, we got one neighbor. Very soon we should get the other neighbor also. You see, hello is coming, so it's good because dead timer is not going below 30. As soon as it's go to 30, yeah, the neighbor came up just now. So guys, right now the output wise no change. Show IP BGP output, but you will see best route. Just see the output wise next stop is same, next stop is exactly one, but you have a best route. Okay, now we have another challenge. R3 sees the route 44 and 4, but look at the next stop 444. But R1 and R2, look at that one. If I type show IP BGP, mainly look for 4. 4 is still is a valid route, not the best route. So that means to make this one happen, what you had to do on R3 pointing to route 2, I must type this command. So let's type that command and see whether it's fixed the problem. So I'm going to see the same routes on both. If I type show IP BGP, look at R4 routes. Oh, this guy is not even sending R4 routes because R2 is not seeing as a best route. That's the reason. Okay, on R3 we are going to do some modification to make it happen. So what we are going to do toward this neighbor, these are tricks guys. Okay, I'll type next hop self. That's it, a magic command. So basically what it says, whenever it receives route from R4, is going to put its own IP address. So if I go to R2, you will see this will be changing to 150.23.3. Just it got changed 4 and 44. And right now R1 also should see the routes. You see R4 also. So right now we have a very good condition guys. We have full loopback connectivity. But before we check, I'm going to do this one too right now. So point number 5 says configure R1 such a way that all BGP routers see only 11.11.00.16. So if I go and see how other routers sees 11.11, for example R4 show IP BGP, it sees 11.11.12 and 11.11.13. So to do that one, let's go to router 11. That's the router originating the route. We'll type config T router BGP 11111. That's my many advantage AS number, and here I will type aggregate address 11.11.0.0 255.255.0.0. I must type summary only, and also I will do clear IP BGP star soft. I want to show you some of the important aspects on this command. Now router 4 will see only one route. Just is seeing only 11.11. But if I go to router 1, if I type show IP BGP, you will see the specific subnets as S mean it is suppressed, but is originating a new route called 11.11.00.16. So guys, when you study BGP is routing protocols of internet. Try to understand about path attributes is very important. Even if you do this lab couple of times, you get more feel of the lab. So before I do so, we have fixed the problems right now, but I want to go and continue to do the labs. Okay, from R1 and R4, I should be able to ping both the sides. So let's try. From R1, if I do ping, I don't have 111 on R1, but I have 4.4.4.4 source loopback 0. Router 1 I'm pinging. From router 4, I should be ping one of the. So I had to change this one. It's not 111 because we don't have 111 on R4. Let's check on R11 what loopbacks we have. Show IP interface brief. include oop. Yeah, I don't have 111. You just see, even though I don't have 111, that's the one I hardcoded the route ID. We can ping any of these IPs from R4. Let's go to R4. We can type ping 11.11.12.1 source loop back 0. I'm on R4. I'm pinging. Or I can type 11.11.13.1. So I cannot ping 1 because 1 is not in my 1 is not in the routing table, or I'm not even advertising 1. So 1 will not work because 1 is not a valid IP on router 1. I'll just show you that one too. You can't ping 1. Okay guys, we have done this one. I think we are now into some advanced topic. We'll spend, as I said, we are going to spend some time. When R4 receives 222.22, it should receive with a local preference of 150. So we are going to see R4 routes. It should have only 150 or 200. By default, local preference is 100. So what is local preference? You have to go more into class to study that one, guys. Show IP Bgp. So what they are saying, it's not showing, even though it's not showing, the local preference is 100 by default. I want to make this 222 local preference as 150. Everything else except this one, this is my own ones. My own one, look at the local preference, it's also 0. I'm going to make 200. So let's follow the same. I'm going to use my notepad document. So what I did here on R4, I'm defining network access list 2. Then I'm defining route map from R3, matching the access list, setting the local preference. Everything else I'm putting local preference 200. Then in route BGP, okay, it should be 22222. Then neighbor route map from R3 in. Let's copy this one, then modify the typos, then let's configure it. Okay, router BGP 22222. So this is the one here, guys. 22222. Okay, that's good. I have defined the access list. Access list to permit 2.2.22.0, 0.0.0.255. So I'm going to remove this one, copy and paste, didn't work very well. So I'm going to define access list, then I'm going to define a route map. So route map basically says, if it is matching access list to, we are going to check this one, access list to local preference is 150, everything else local preference is 200. So I'm going to copy and paste this one. Copy, let's go to router 4, yeah, config T. What I will do, guys, clear IP Bgp starsoft. If everything is right, I must see one. If I type show IP Bgp, I will know whether my configuration is right. It is right. The reason except for my local route, 2222 came with a local preference of 150. Everything is changed to local preference of 200. So let's do the other one. The condition number 8, I'm saying when 444 is received by R3, it should receive with a weight of 111 and everything else with a weight of 121. So in order to do this one, I use prefix list. So let's copy this to a notepad document. I will correct that document, guys. I thought it's going to happen because prefix you don't like, so IP prefix list net 44 permit 44. Let's go back and look at the questions. We don't want to, yeah, 44 44 44 44.44.44.0/24. Yeah, then everything else is right. Match IP address prefix list, set weight, then by default, then I'll go to router BGP neighbor. If you have any question about, even though you might be listening from any part of the world, if you have any questions, you can always email me to themanyadvantage@yahoo.ca. I'm more than willing to help you guys. So my main goal is to get you guys the knowledge. So I'm going to type exit here. I will type exit here and copy and paste. So we have to put this one on R3. Once I do, the lab is complete. I'll go to config T. I'm going to do clear IP BGP starsoft. If I type show IP BGP, we are going to get two routes from router 4. One is 444, other one is 44, 44, 44. I should see both weights 111 and 121. Just see, I'm seeing weight of 111 and weight of 121. So guys, BGP path attribute is very important because BGP is not a normal routing protocol. Its metrics are path attributes. So the lab is done, but before I just complete the lab, I want to show you all the BGP commands, whatever we type. Show run section BGP. So you can make a screenshot, then you can do the lab. Second one, router show run section BGP. Then we'll go to router 3, show run section BGP. So in router 2, try to understand the meaning of route reflector client command and try to see what are the different methods to use route reflector client. On this router, what I want to use is mainly we have a next stop self command. What's the purpose of next stop self command? That's important. And here we have some route map. So one of the way I used to look at the route map is some people try to write show route map from R4. But if you want to see exactly what you type, there's another way to look. You can type show run pipe begin route map from R4. You can type small p. This is what I use heavily at work. So it's going to give you the way you typed here. So the way I typed is, I typed this command, route map from R4 permit 10 is going to show you. Then you can also type show IP prefix list. Is going to show you any prefix list. Show access list. So there are no access list. Router 4, show run section BGP. So this one also has a route map. You can type show route map. But here I think we defined a access list. Show access lists. It's going to show you the access list and showing you how many match statement. And finally, one more command. If I go to R3, the important command in BGP will be show IP BGP summary. It's going to give you high level. Is going to give you the local router identifier, and also is going to give you, these are neighbors IP address, it's not the neighbor route ID. If you want to see the neighbor route ID, you can type the command show IP BGP neighbors. It's going to give you neighbor IP address and neighbor route ID. And if I come back to the other neighbor, is going to give you neighbor's IP address as well as neighbor route ID. So BGP state has to be established state. And also you can type show IP route BGP. If you want to see the path attribute, you must type show IP BGP. And next stop metric is med, local preference, weight, ACE, path, origin code. They are very good BGP attributes now. Everyone, I assume you guys enjoy this BGP advanced lab number 3. Good luck in your CCNP BGP class lab 3. Read the concept, do the lab multiple times. This is Manny, your Cisco Juniper Master Instructor. I'll be putting more and more videos, so please subscribe to my video channel and try to watch the videos. Again, good luck in your studies. Thanks for watching my video.